stories. He is quite a guy. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty. He's quite the guy. If you're feeling lonely, come and make a friend. If you need a story, on Sty you can depend. His voice is soothing like a lullaby. Sometimes he brings a tear to my eye. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty. He's quite the guy.
Hey, folks. Welcome to Around the Campfire. Here we be. Yes, sirree. Yeah. I see a bunch of folks out there in the chat. Mad Kiwi was the first one jumped on the chat tonight. Great to see you. Good day, my friend. And Cindaloo. Yeah, all is well. All is well, Cindaloo. I kind of had a pretty good day today. Kimberly Ferris, there she is. There's Tim with Kirk Whipper Voyager Center. Great, always great to see you, Tim. There's TM. Hello, everyone. Yes, sirree. There's Dr. Smith. Great to see ya. There's Nick with NJ Lawn and Hedge Cutting. Oh, and there's Blake. Blake Hurst is in the house. Good to see you, Blake. It's good. It's good. Oh my gosh, there's Cheesehead Chris. He's Cheesehead. That's all. We know that. Okay, so that's the folks that are out there, the yakking away in the chat. I have to do a little bit of. There we go. A little bit of back of house things I had to get done. I had running water down in the basement right up to within a minute of starting the stream. And then he lets me know, I can't come up tonight. He said, I took these few minutes to chat with you before the stream. He says, and I got to be right back out on the blacktop. He pounded down the road in Nevada right now, heading for Reno, Nevada. Drops his load tomorrow. Doesn't have to drive too far. Picks up a new load, and off he goes again. I think he's going to Denver or someplace after that. But yeah, he's pounding the pavement. Kayla Ferris is here. Good to see you, Kayla. Good to see you. It usually takes a little bit before I get someone showing up in the basement. Sometimes people are popping in there real quick. But so, why was it kind of a good day for me today? Well, I had a doctor's appointment. First time I'd actually been in the doctor's office for the full rundown kind of appointment since last April. The good news is I didn't get any bad news. um, they gave me a close, not quite, but real close, clean bill of health. Yeah, I do have some issues um, that need to be diagnosed and still dealt with. But I got a couple more things I got to go through on the cancer screening thing. But otherwise, everything else has come back negative. So I'm in good shape on that end of things. I don't have to worry about that right now. Thank goodness. There ain't nothing worse in the world than having to deal with cancer, man. I'm telling you. So that was good news. That was really good news. And they're working on these other symptoms I have and trying to figure out what's going on there. Well, they send me to the lab and they take 4 big vials of blood and blah, 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 all the lab work and stuff. And they ended up doing chest x-rays. And get halfway through the appointment. I got 2 different doctors I'm seeing at the same time. And half the time they're both in the room at the same time. And they're talking doctorese back and forth, blah, 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 blah. And I don't understand a damn word they're saying, you know. Yeah, Blake, no, I didn't get that number. But not too far down the road, I'm due for a colonoscopy again. So, did you get a lowrider chair? Lowrider chair? No, my camera's at a different angle. It's good to see you though, Chowser. But I was surprised. I only weigh 170 pounds now. 6 feet tall and 170 pounds. My doctor said, boy, oh boy, Sty, you lost a lot of weight. I said, yeah, I did. I went from very tight size 38 jeans down to loose 32s. So yeah, I lost lost a lot of inches. So they had me doing tests today, kind of testing my core strength, and they wanted to make sure that with some of my muscle mass, loss of muscle mass, that I wasn't losing strength with it. I was just losing mass. She said, your muscles were like that on a prime steer, all marbled with fat. So you lost some muscle mass by losing all the fats out of your muscles. Okay. And I said, but doc, you know what? The last time I was ever down to 170 pounds, I was 16 years old. That's damn near 50 years ago. Because by the time I was 17, I was 185 pounds. And I went up and down from 185 pounds on it, well, quite a ways up, getting close to 300 one time. Up and down, but never below 185. Now here I am, I'm at 170 pounds. Well, she said, what you weighed last time you saw us in April, you lost 35 pounds. And I said, I was sure I weighed more than that. And she looked again and she goes, oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong column. That was the visit before that visit. You were at 220 when you were here. Now you're at 170. She said, 50 pounds. Gone. And she said, as long as you feel good. Yeah, Metal Music Maniac. Good to see you there, buddy. Thank you for the share early in this. beginning. Doctors need to give us layman terms. They say we're going to take some blood. Come on, tell us we're going to take the red stuff. Yeah, we're going to take the red stuff. The Our two lab technicians at my clinic that I go to, when they see me coming, they go, "Oh, oh, oh." They said, "Did you get a tattoo where it's going to stick you?" They keep telling me, "Yeah, because I got, I got two stick marks in his arm from them taking twice on me today." But they keep telling me that red spot, you run right out of this clinic, head down to your tattoo artist, and have them put a bullseye right there. Then we don't have to look for your vein. It'll already have a bullseye on it. Oh yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah. The Another piece of good news I got from that doctor's visit. Now, for some of you folks, you'll understand because you're familiar with diabetes, but the best way for them to monitor your diabetes as a whole picture is to do what they call an A1C, right? And what that does is it comes up with what your blood sugar averages are over a 3-month span. They want you at 6% or below, right? Well, my last visit in April, my A1C was a 12.6. Way too high. Today's was a 6.6. And I ate a lot of carbs last night, man. I ate a lot of carbs. I was eating cookies. I was eating ice cream. I ate 2 Rice Krispie bars right up until I had to stop eating to fast for my appointment today. So, but that's the way I've been eating for the last few months, whatever I want, and as much as I want. So I was amazed. So she told me to get a little more strict on my carb intake, more proteins, less carbs. And she says, and if you do that, I'll tell you what I'll do. She cut one of my meds. I was all for that, man. I'll be a little more disciplined. I'll have half as much ice cream, only 1 Rice Krispie bar. You know, if you're going to get rid of one of them meds, you betcha. So I'm off a med now. Well, actually, I'm not totally off the med. It's been reduced by 50%. Where I was taking 2 twice a day, I'm only taking 1 twice a day. And if my blood sugars don't change, next time I see her, she said, we'll take what you're taking now, we'll cut that in half again. Then the next time, if it stays the same or goes lower, we'll take you completely off of that med. Sounds good to me. The less pills I take, the better, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, you know, when they said, well, we need to take a little more blood because we want to run all these different tests for this swallowing, the issues I have, the symptoms I'm having. And they needed 2 vials as part of their cancer screening work. But they just told me, they said, we need a little more. That's the way they put it too, was we need a little more blood. So we're going to send you back down to the lab. A little more of my blood. They took 6 more vials, for crying out loud. I told them, I said, geez, with all the vials of blood you took, I feel like I went to the blood bank, for crying out loud, and donated. I don't know. Maybe they're painting with it or something. I don't know what they're doing with all that blood. Holy smokes. So I had all kinds of apprehension and suffering a little bit of anxiety. I don't want to go to the doctor. I hate doctors, man. I love my doctor. She's a sweetheart. She is. She's a real sweet lady. She saved this old boy's life more than once. I mean, she is a awesome doctor. And she listens to a person and she, you know, 18 years ago, I started seeing her, and I've been seeing her ever since. She was just a new doctor at the time I started seeing her. And even back then, I think back then, she's working as an associate to a very, very well in this region. That doctor that she worked with was in such demand, he had 3 associates working with them just to keep up with the load of patients to his clinic, because that boy was sharp. Boy, he was sharp. And I think that's why she turned out so sharp. And when I first started seeing her, if she had the slightest question of something, she'd say, I'll be right with you. And she'd go straight to that head doctor of that clinic and talk to him and get his advice. And now it's like going and seeing him. She's that sharp, after 20 years in the business, she's gotten pretty damn sharp. But anyway, doctors. So you go to the clinic, our clinic. I don't know what it's like for you guys. You go to our clinic, you stand out on the sidewalk, and they got a line painted on the sidewalk out on the street. And there's a button on the door. You push the button. And this pre-recorded message comes across. Please step back to the line. So you got to back up to the line. And this really weird blue light starts spinning on that button by the door. And then all of a sudden someone pops up at the door and they crack that door open. And they look to see if you got a mask on. If you ain't got a mask, they'll stick their arm out just through the enough door open to get that mask out and tell you, put a mask on. Then they ask you, do you have this symptom, that symptom, this symptom, that symptom, blah, 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 blah. No. Then they let you in. And then you can only get about 2 feet inside the building. Please stand with your toes up to the line and look at that screen. You look down, there's the line. You walk up to it. You look up, and there's you on this screen, and there's an outline. Just like the murder outline at a murder scene of a body. There's an outline. And you center yourself in that outline, stand there. And then all of a sudden it pops up 98.4 was my temperature. It said no thermometer, nothing. I seen where it shoot you in the ear and they go, oh yeah, we got your temp, or that heat gun thing they put up your forehead. But I had never seen nothing. You stand there looking at the screen, and then all of a sudden the damn screen tells you what your temperature is, and you're a good 2.5 feet away from it. And then they take your temperature, actually physically take it when you're in the exam room, and it was exactly what that machine at the door said I was. I was amazed. That thing's cool. JCT, sweetie, it's great to see you. I hope you're having a good evening. But that I never seen nothing like that. That kind of. So once I checked in, I went and I found myself a seat, the closest one to that area where people come in and out of the building. And I sat there and I just watched when people would come to the door. Just to watch them go up there and tells them what their temp is. I watched that thing, and all of a sudden I realized someone's calling my name. Here they were calling my name for about 2 minutes. I was too busy watching these people get their temperatures taken. That was pretty cool. Oh, geez, this is Men in Black movie stuff. Yeah, 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 yeah. That kind of stuff. Yeah, yep. At least that machine didn't say, "Take a seat, Agent S." Ass machine, damn machine. But anyway, so yeah, it was good. It was good. Um, except that through this screening process, man, I felt like I got in a boxing ring and got punched in the ribs and the guts 500 times. Man, she's just pushing all around my abdomen and under my rib cage and all over, roll you on each side and right down your side and around your back by your kidneys, just pushing and kind of going like this with her fingers. And I asked her, "Oh, you never done that to me before. What are you doing?" She said, "We're looking for tender spots. We want to know if it hurts anywhere." I said, "It's going to hurt tomorrow, I guarantee you, as hard as you're pushing." And she says, "Plus, we're seeing if we can feel any type of lump, anything abnormal. And we'll have to send you to a specialist if we suspect anything." And I said, "Oh, okay, well, um, I don't I don't think you have to worry about that. I don't, I got this notice that I can't believe I got it. It's over in Facebook about something that happened yesterday that I already knew and already checked. Dumb, dumb, da dum, dumb, dumb." But you can probably tell Sty isn't very excitable tonight. I mean, I'm kind of tired tonight. It's like the wind went out of my sails. I feel relaxed because I got the medical thing done out of the way. I do have to go see the doctor every month and a half for the next 6 months. And that's with all the screening and stuff they're doing. All right. That ain't no big deal. Hell, I only live, it's only a 5-minute drive from where I live. So it's not like it's that terribly inconvenient. But I ran over to Running Waters today where I'm moving. My monitors came in, my 2 nice big curved screen monitors came in. And the stand that will hold all 3 of my monitors came in. My desk is going to be here later in the week, I think on the 6th. My youngest boy is moving out and I'm moving in. Now I can tell he's been working on stuff to move it out of there, but boy, he's got a long ways to go, boy. Oh boy, oh boy. You better jump on it. Because my landlord here reminded me today that I can't renege on my notice to vacate. It's too late to renege. I have to be out of here no later than December 31st because they've already got a tenant to come into my apartment. Now, the managers here, they know me. They've known me literally for 30 years. They also know I was a housing executive director. They know I did private management of rental properties. And they've been to my home. not just here, but throughout the years. The manager here said, I just know when you turn your keys in, I could hand them right to the next tenant, tell him your apartment's ready. I said, well, no, you got to get in there. You should paint that dang thing. And the curtains need to be replaced. These are the original curtains from 1975. They're rough. They're rough. They look okay. Just don't go touching them and moving them and stuff. That's when you start seeing all the wore out threads in them. And I mean, yeah, they're rough, 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 rough. I wouldn't. And plus, they need a good dry cleaning. I'd be afraid to. I think they'd fall apart. That, 1975. That's 45, well, 46 years. Yeah, them damn things are that old. They said, we already got it. We got the new curtains for your apartment. They're sitting right there in maintenance in the box, ready to put up. And they said, maintenance crew's already got the big paint kit and everything, and all the paint for your apartment sitting right there. We'll go in there on the 1st. The new tenants want to move in on the 6th. So we'll go in there on the 1st, and we'll be done painted out of there on the 1st. And we'll go in on the 3rd, hang the new curtains. And then they'll come and look at the apartment on the 4th or 5th, and they'll move in on the 6th. I said, wow, okay. I said, I was kind of hoping that you weren't in such a big hurry to get it filled that in the worst case, if my boy didn't get out like he's supposed to, I don't want to have to live amongst his junk. That I could say, oh, things fell through, I can't get out for another week or two, and just pay for it, Get her done, Granny. Hi, sweetie. Oh, Lori J came in the house too. Good to see you, Lori J. I hope you're doing well. Get her done, Granny. Hope you're doing well. I'll probably do this a couple times tonight, depending on who's here, who's hanging out and stuff. But I want to show you guys something. I am so... I'm not really depressed, but I'm suffering a little anxiety, I think, because I want to move so damn bad. So damn bad. Today, I should have been packing, but I did all the doctor thing and all that today. That ate up over half the day. But I still had 3 hours that I could have packed. I sat down and said, oh, to heck, I ain't packing nothing. I just don't feel like it. That's not much like me. I get stir crazy and I like to be busy. Not today. I just like, no, I just don't wanna. But I want to get out of here so bad. I want to move. I want to be gone. Well, for good reason. I want to get there, get settled, and get my new studio set up. I'm going to show you. This is my current studio desk. This is a picture of it when I bought it. That's what I'm broadcasting from, is that desk. I've got my monitor up on the upper shelf. I've got where they're showing a laptop. That's just, supposedly it was intended to be open surface, but it's got 2 webcams, my Stream Deck, a Bluetooth speaker set, all kinds of junk. It's got junk all over it. And then keyboard under that, and down on that black foot panel towards the bottom, I've got my desktop computer and my external hard drive. But that's what I use for my studio. Once I get moved into running waters, this is what my new studio is going to look like. Bingo. That's the desk that Running Water ordered me, and it's going to be there on the 6th, I believe. That is going to be so sweet, where those two junctions come together, and there's that connector that connects the two ends. There'll be a triple monitor mount there, and there'll be 3 monitors on mine. But that's going to be my new studio desk. I can't wait. I can't wait. Running Water's got that exact same desk, except it's in black, right? Just like my current studio. Sitting there in the box, and I want to put it together. Well, there ain't no room in that dang house to put it together because my dang other kid's moving out. He's got the place all tore apart. So I just got to be patient, I guess. It's very difficult. Yeah, portable laptop. Just plug it in. Well, with my computer equipment, I've got 3 desktop computers and I got a laptop. So at the studio desk, the 3 monitors I'll be running are all going to be operational for stream purposes. The laptop will be off to the side. I'll be using that for personal messaging and stuff. So, and one of the desktops that's going in my bedroom at the new house, it'll be with this studio desk in my bedroom. This studio desk become my office desk in my big ass bedroom. That bedroom's so damn big, you almost get lost in the damn thing. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's a huge change from living the apartment life for 3 years now. And this Christmas Day with Sty North, don't miss it, is going to be the last one here in this small studio. The following Christmas, 2022, we'll be in that big studio over there. That studio desk is going to be arranged kind of in a corner of a room. And right next to it, to the side of it, it's going to be like a love seat. And there'll be speaker booms. I can have in-house guests right there at the studio. They can be live with me right in the studio. I'll have multiple cameras so I can toggle between just me, my guest, or me and my guests all on the same screen. So it'll be a whole different world. It'll make streams fun. They already are fun, but I mean funner. It'll be nice to be able to possibly get some people interested in coming right to the studio and participating live at the studio, not just online, but come to the studio in person, sit right in the studio. We can do an interview and get you on the big old YouTube. Yeah, should be fun. That was one thing my doctor asked me. She says, "Are you hosting campground next summer?" And I said, "What if I say yes?" She goes, "I would be a little concerned." And I go, "Why?" Well, they're concerned about my heart because I'm going on the 6th year since my open heart surgery. And very rarely I have minor angina symptoms which relate to the heart. It's very rare and they're very mild, but they're there. If you've had major heart problems and it's been reoccurring for a long period of time and then it gets corrected, you get any of those symptoms, you know exactly what they are. Well, I haven't had symptoms where I've had to pop baby aspirin or a nitro. Nothing like that. Nothing like that at all. Just these little hints. Little hints. So right away they want me to do a heart stress test, and and she said with my weight loss, I've lost some stamina. I don't have the stamina I used to have, and that's why she wants me to knock out the majority of my carbohydrate intake and jack up my proteins. Yeah, get as much protein as I can. She said that'll help with the stamina, and she said, and you need more fats in your diet. So okay, sounds good to me. And I said, what's that got to do with hosting? She says, I don't want you. She said, I can't stop you from hosting, but she said, I'd prefer that you didn't. She said, because I'm going to want to see you frequently at the clinic. You got that 80-mile round trip just for a doctor's appointment. And the stress of hosting, the labor of hosting, the fact you're there for the whole season, and the fact that you're alone in that campground sometimes for days, totally alone there. She says, I just would really prefer that you didn't host next year. I said, so are you saying I shouldn't go camping? And she goes, no, you want to go on a 2-week-long camp, go for it. She says, no reason not to. She said, it's when you're doing it 7 days a week for 6 months straight and you're living a lot different than you do if you're at home. It's a lot more burden on you. She said, I just prefer if you didn't host next year. So I've thought it through, and I've got so much to do at the new house that, yeah, I'm gonna not host the campground next year, but I'm going camping. Gemma's Journey Grace, hello there, sweetie. Grilling and chilling with Mojo. Hey, Mojo. What you doing, Mo? Joe? It's good to see you, Mojo. It's always good to see Mojo. Oh boy. I tell you, when my doctor asked me, why do you think you lost your stamina? And I told her, I said, I'm battling with that myself. As to why. Why would I have lost my stamina? And I said, I just figured it out. I think I'm getting old. Even she had to laugh. She goes, well, yeah, that is true. You're near your next milestone, which is, hey, Dennis, my friend. He's still lurking. He's watching. Canoe Hound Adventures is in the house. If you feel like it, you can leave if you're just camping and not hosting a campground. That's it. I can take as much or as little as I want, you know. And the way I see it is all the work I got to do around Running Water's house this summer, there's going to be days where I'd just soon just hook up to the adventure trailer, zip out to a little lake somewhere and do some kayaking and kicking back, relaxing at the campfire. with no obligations whatsoever, but be able to do it at a whim, just, oh, I got a bug. I'm going to go. Man. And there's some places I haven't camped in a while that I'd like to go back and camp. Yeah. 4.2K. Good for you, girl. Yeah, I just hit 4.0, 4.03. I hit 4,000, I think 2 weeks ago. And I've only gained 30 subs since then. So it's growing. It keeps growing. Yeah. The I don't go out there really marketing for subs, looking for subs. But if you're watching and you're not sub, hit that subscribe. It's right down there. It's real easy. Yeah. Rebecca Felter. Hi. Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the things. One of the bummers of getting old is you can't make really good long range plans. Shouldn't stop making plans, but you can't. Plans are made to be changed. It's just like promises are made to be broken. So I don't quit planning. I try to plan what I'm going to be doing 6 months ahead or so. But I don't plan for years down the road. I ain't doing that because that could be a total waste of time. I'm not going to invest in something that needs years to build up. That's like with the YouTube channel, everybody. I got a lot of people saying, man, Sty, with all the new equipment you're getting, everything, you're going to have a pretty close to pro studio for your channel. Are you going to be around long enough to really get it, all you can out of it? Well, probably not. But Running Water is going to inherit the whole thing. All the equipment, everything, and the channel. Got that worked out already. So, and Running Water has promised me that he will carry on the legacy and keep the channel going. And he'll add a little bit of genre to it, a little twist on the content, but nothing so odd or different that it'll drive a single audience member away. Because you guys are here not just for me, you're here for each other. I mean, we've known each other, most of us, for such a long time now. If one of us can't be here, the rest of us will be, So that's what he's going to do, is try to assure everybody that the Sty Shack goes on. Just because Sty can't be there doesn't mean that the Sty Shack fell down, right? Hey, Loaderman, good to see ya. Good to see ya. Yeah, I was really upset today. Go out to the doctor, all that, and that took a few hours, all that business. Ran over to the house, ran out to the grocery store, got some groceries. The one thing I had to have, I needed a loaf of bread. I don't got no bread in the house at all. I got some flour tortillas, that's it. I get home, I'm just so proud. I got everything done today. Now I can kick back. Well, I decided I wasn't going back out, but I forgot one thing at the store. Bread. So no grilled cheese. I guess I might have to run to the store tomorrow, but I was just craving grilled cheese sandwiches. I've got some deli sliced ham. Maybe I'll make grilled ham and cheese sandwiches tomorrow. Gemma says, Sty, you got loads more years left yet. I don't want to think about you not being here. I don't know what I got left, And that's it. I tell people all the time, it could be a day, it could be a month, could be a year, could be 10 years, could be 20 years. I don't know. But right now, today, I'm pretty damn sure I'm going to be here tomorrow. Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure of that. But you see the things that happen. You go through life long enough, it doesn't take long to realize there's a lot of people get cut short, They their days end way before they anticipated. And you just can't live with that on your mind constantly. Otherwise, you're not living anymore. Hey, Waste Mike. Hello, all. He's streaming today. Yeah, I got to watch a bit of it, and I had to do a bunch more running, so I left it running. I didn't get to see the whole stream, but I got to see about 15, 20 minutes of it, and then I had to take off. But I left it running while I was gone. Yeah, that's something I got to look forward to, is fixing my truck disc 2 weeks from now. Hey, look at here. There's Mojo.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
How we doing today? How you doing today? Doing good?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Good, good.
Pretty good.
You know what you taught me? Is you start the day off feeling like crap and you're having a bad day right off the get-go before your feet hit the floor.
Yeah.
And guess what? I use that now.
Do you?
Because you know what, everybody? Your day is just going to get better.
Yes.
From there on. So I love that. I absolutely love it. And I will be using that from now on.
You bet. To me, that's my good morning my ass theory. That never start from the get-go. Don't start your day good.
Nice. I love it. So
just get up in the morning and go, oh my God, another lousy damn day. Oh, I'm going to have to go through this shit all day. Oh, I do not want to get up. Force yourself out of bed. And once you smell the coffee and you get your first sip.
Oh, it's already starting.
It's starting to get better, by golly. And it only gets better the rest of the day. Even when something bad then comes along, it's like you prepped yourself first thing in the morning how to deal with that bad thing that might pop its ugly head during the day. So yeah, and I know a lot of people think I'm nuts, but no, I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer. Start your day off with the mindset, boy, the beginning of my day sucks. It just sucks.
Totally.
Don't judge the whole day, but judge that moment. This moment sucks, man. Because it only gets better.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that going to work too. Let everybody
I used to
start the day at work. It's gonna, it's just a crappy day, but it's gonna get better.
Yeah, that's it. I always looked at my work that way. Oh God, during my career, man, I'm shaking it out at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we got Phil in the house.
There's Phil in the house. Well, yeah, Lori. Yeah, that Sty Story Sundays aren't going anywhere. my regular 5 stream a week schedule is going to go on as long as I do. My 3 Sty times a week, and this one around Campfire and Sunday night Sty stories. They're not going anywhere. If anything, things will get added to those special feature kind of streams or something. But those 5, those are just like watching network TV. You know what night they're coming on, and yeah. The yeah, spicy.
Look at these great people in your chat right now. These are some.
Oh, they're all awesome people. Yes, Gemma, I'll send you a link, girl. Give me a moment. I gotta pull it up.
So Tuesday your doctor's appointment?
Already had it today.
Oh, so you had it when?
Today.
Was it today? I thought it was Tuesday.
No, it was today, and the good news is I didn't get any bad news. No bad news at all. It went so slick. You
know why, right? Do you want to know why? Because you started your day off.
Yeah, off lousy.
Happy, yeah. That's why.
And I did too, man. I didn't get no sleep last night. The anxiety of having to go see the damn doctor. I adore my doctor. She is sharp as a tack, boy. Mm-hmm. She's sharp. And I tell people she saved my life more than once. But I doesn't mean I want to go see her.
Right.
Hey, Gemma. Hi, sweetie.
Hello.
Gemma, how you
doing?
Good to see
I'm
you.
good. How are you?
Good. We got awesome news with that guy right there. That is awesome.
You know what?
Yeah.
Here's the good news on the health checkup today. Okay, I'm about 2/3 of the way through the cancer screening thing. And as of today, of all the screenings they've done so far, 0. Zilch. No cancers. My diabetes, my A1C, which is looking at your blood sugars over a 3-month span, back in May, my A1C was a 12.6. For it to be non-diabetic, it needs to be 6.0 or lower. Well, my blood sugar today was a 6.6 for the last 3 months. So I cut it in half.
Yep.
And they took me off of one of my diabetic meds. Yes.
What?
One last pill to take. So that
Nice.
made me happy.
That's
my
fantastic.
weight loss I was concerned about. And I saw 2 different doctors today, both at the same time. They were coming and going, the 2 of them, in the exam room. I was in the exam room itself with these 2 doctors for almost a full 2 hours. But both of them agreed my weight loss is a benefit. It's a windfall, not a concern. I weigh 170 pounds now. I'm 6 feet tall and weigh 170 pounds.
Wow.
I told my boy, I said, you know when the last time was I weighed 170 pounds? I was 16 years old and 5'10".
Wow.
And so I don't, it's.
Now wait a minute. 5'10", and you're 5. What? Okay, you're 6.
I'm
Okay.
6 foot now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I thought it was the other way around. I was like, wait a minute.
No. Well, if I say when I was 19 years old, I would have been 6'1" and about 185.
Wow.
But yeah, so we figured out what my weight was the last time I saw the doctor back in May, and I weighed 220 pounds at that visit. And now I weigh 170. So over
Wow.
a 6.5, well, 7 month period, I lost 50 pounds.
Nice.
So I know how it feels to not have that fat kid riding on my back, you know. Get off my back, you chubby bugger. You're just out there.
Yep.
So now I can get to walk around without carrying that big old chubby kid on my back, you know.
I wouldn't necessarily say you were chubby before. You've always been, from what I've seen of
Well,
you, healthy looking. You've not been.
yeah, you know, I was okay at the 200 to 220 pound range in there. I was comfortable there. I was okay there with that. But now that I'm getting older, my stamina is dropping off. That's one thing they're doing a study on now is my stamina. We're trying to adjust my diet to increase my stamina because I've lost quite a bit of it
Yeah.
just in the last year. And I just chalk it off to age, you know. Shit, you slow down when you get older, you know. And my doctor says, not you. You don't slow down for nothing. So we're going to figure out why, and we're going to build that stamina back up.
I've never known you to slow down, Sty. You've always been very.
Yeah. and of late, I have slowed down quite a bit. If I went out, some of the hiking I did this last summer, if I went out and did that same hiking right now today, it would take me almost twice as long to hike the same distance. Not that I can't hike it, I just don't have the stamina to keep that pace for as long.
Yeah. It's important to let your body rest at the same time.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is them checking my core strength because I lost not just fat, all the fat in my muscle tissue has been burned up too. So that makes your muscle mass smaller because the fats are gone out of the muscle. Well, you need a lot of potassium and proteins to keep those muscles from cramping up because those fats actually act as cushioning in your muscle structure. So lots of bananas. So I'll have banana splits, you know, with ice cream and syrup with lots of banana. But and then proteins. If I feel like a snack, I eat peanut butter, a lot of peanut butter. There's tons of protein in peanut butter. So that's my snacky food in between others. But yeah, so they were testing basically my strength levels, had me on a treadmill, and they thought I did fairly good for my age and my build and everything. And then for core strength, they have you lifting weights, right? And I can lift 105 pounds and I can curl it and I can walk around with 105 pounds. They had me walking around this room carrying a 105-pound barbell.
Yeah.
Now in May, I could have done the exact same thing, except I would have been out of breath after after that number of laps. I would have been out of breath. Instead, today I wasn't at all out of breath, but I walked it a lot slower than I would have back in May. So because of my stamina levels, I got to pace myself. I got to slow myself down. So my core strength is still there. And that's where my doctor said, bingo, you just won the bingo. You, yep. As long as your core strength hasn't diminished with the weight loss, she said we're good with it. And so And she told me, she says, don't get me wrong, I understand. Physically, you feel like shit, but she said you're not as bad as you probably feel, you know. and
That's good.
I said, that's what I want to hear, because I dealt with pain damn near my whole life. I mean, I banged this body up way too much over the years. So living with pain ain't nothing new.
No.
It's when you're wondering if that pain is just kind of like your warning bell. You're coming to the end of the line. Yeah, ding, 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 ding. No.
I think
Wait a
think
minute.
that proves that everybody has to learn how to take care of themselves, though, because there's pain where it's temporary and there's pain where it's permanent. So you have to learn to read where to take care of yourself.
Right. You're so right, Gemma, because that's me. There's certain pains that I have that are severe but short-lived, and I know that pain. I know what it'll be. Okay, I'll take something to try to deaden that pain because I know how severe it'll be. I've got pains that I have every single day, and I've had them every single day for 35 years. I don't take a thing for it because I've learned to live with that pain. It's just part of my life. And once you learn to live with that type of pain that's chronic forever, you don't have to treat it quite as much as you do those periodic severe pains.
No.
And it makes life so much better because you're not paying attention to the pain, you know.
Yeah, it's just about self-coping.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, once in a while, you get that realization, damn, I hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all realise that. I know for me, recently I've been doing a lot of Christmas shopping with my sister, and the other day I got home and I ate so bad. I got through my front door and I literally come through the lounge here I'm sitting, and I was just like, my sister's like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I was in so much pain. I was just like bent over like this. I'm like, oh my God. And I had to force myself to sit back up, and she goes, it can't be that bad. I'm like, I've just had to carry these 2 massive bags. I'm friggin' short. Like, I put myself under pain. That was ridiculous.
Some of the pains that I suffer periodically can be severe enough where my ex-wife, she'd swear to it today. That man is goofy. When he started having certain pains, I'd walk in the room and say, are you all right? And he'd go, shh, quiet. It hurts when you talk. and she'd go, what do you mean it hurts when I talk? I can feel it. I can feel the vibration. It hurts. Don't talk.
That describes me when I'm in a meltdown.
Please just
shut up.
Yeah, and that's it. Is if they're not understanding, that's the next thing out of your mouth is you need to shut up and leave me alone. Go away.
So go away.
Hey, Joran. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Joran.
Yep. I liked it. He put a video up about over in Sweden. They're proposing to implant everybody with a microchip with their vaccination record in the chip.
Oh my God!
Instead of you having to carry the the passport.
Now, where's this?
Sweden.
Are they really doing that?
That's Shadow Scout Swede. If you follow his channel, you get to hear all the nitty gritty of what's going on in Sweden. And Sweden kind of jumps the gun sometimes and implements things that other nations are going, well, we want to, but we just don't think the people will go for it, you know. In Sweden, they just tell them, you're going to do this. Well, Joran said, he ain't getting it. You ain't putting that thing in me. You're not going to force me to have something shoved under my skin like that. And I don't blame him one bit, you know.
No chance.
That would top it off I think that would really ruffle a lot of people's feathers, man.
Yeah, it would. I
It's
don't
it's,
have.
it's it's basically restricting the freedoms that we're all entitled to. It's a form of manipulation. By the end of the day, we're all adults,
Right.
and it should be a
Right.
free choice. It shouldn't be you must do this, otherwise we're gonna put you under pressure. And no, it's like we're adults. Go away.
See, I was raised under the rule that you have all the rights in the world if you are willing to exercise those. You have all the rights in the world. But guess where they end? You have no rights at the end of my nose. That's where your rights end, is right at the end of my nose.
Mm-hmm.
Don't touch me. As long as you're not affecting me personally, who am I to tell you you can't think, do, or live the way you want? Don't be touching nobody, because the minute you touch them, you just lost your rights, buddy. You just lost your rights because you're violating theirs. And
Yeah, it's personal
And if you-
boundaries.
right, if you think that way, then you know that personal boundary. You have no right to damage somebody else's personal life, you know. And
No.
it and people love to come up with excuses for actually forcing others to do things their way, when no matter how you look at it, the minute you're making somebody do something that's not their choice, they're not willing, they're not a participant, they don't want to be, that's when it's wrong. That's when you've taken their personal freedom away from them. And yeah, it's a tough thing. I mean,
So at my work, my buddy just lost about, I want to say $500, $600 a week out of his paycheck. And it's because of the vaccine and servicing. One is it Facebook? Yeah, it's actually Facebook. One is Facebook because we, service Facebook and those guys.
Sure. Right.
And some other account too. So he can't service it because he's not vaccinated. So, and then we just signed a thing and had to answer questions if we were vaccinated or not at our place, which is a pretty large company. And it just, it's just kind of weird to me. But I don't like to get into talking about like the vaccines and if it's take it or not take it and all that garbage, because everybody has their opinions and stuff.
And that's it. I
don't get into that. So
I get run over a few times a week, I guess, because I'm so middle of the road on that issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want everybody to just go past me on either side, because I just let me make my choice. And I did get the vaccine. I didn't get the booster. I got the vaccine.
Yeah.
And everybody goes, but Sty, we thought you were anti-vaccine. I said, I'm not anti nothing. And I said, I'm anti you making me do it.
Yeah.
But the vaccine itself, I'll make that choice if it's right for me or not. I don't want somebody else doing that. And I said, and I'm not going to tell you what you should do either. You got to make your own choice. But then people want to argue with you, and it's like there's nothing to argue about, because I'm not denying you your right to not take it.
What's up, Bradley?
And I'm not denying somebody that is taking it by saying, well, I can't. Mm-hmm. You're one of them goofballs. I can't have nothing to do with it. I'm not going there. I'm not going to let.
By the end of the day, it's each individual choice. I was very against it at first, and I was like hellbound. Nope, not having it. Not have nothing to do with it. And then as time went on, and I found out that 3 of my family members who were at the time my support bubble people had all come down. I'm like, okay, so now I'm complete on my own. I have no support network. All my family who have got it, who are my support bubble people, were all ill. So I had to go nearly 2.5 months without seeing anybody. And then as soon as I was able to see people, the next person in my support bubble, which was my stepdad, he came down with it, so I wasn't able to see him. And now my dad came down with it a couple 3 weeks ago, so I haven't seen him for a month. So I had my 2 injections done in between them being ill, and I must say the second one I regret having it done because I've had constant pain in my arm all the time. I've got numbness all down my arm. I've been to doctors 3 times, and all they've told me is, you probably just got nerve damage. It will recover soon. I'm like, I can't use my arm. I've got literally no function in it, and it wakes me up, and I have to put up with this every single day. I had it done, my second one, about 3 months ago. So I regret having it done, but it's my personal choice. I wish I wouldn't have had it done, but it's each individual choice.
Well, but that's the thing, Gemma. You're doing exactly what I expect of anybody. You're taking ownership for your own decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, you're not blaming anybody else or anything. And that's what people need to do, is take ownership of their own choices. Look at this guy down there. Are you wore out, man? You've been going at it all day. You've been going at it all day, buddy.
So is Gemma.
Yeah.
She was on my stream, did her own stream. Now she's up here.
Yep.
Yeah, come to think of it, yeah, I've seen her around today.
Yep, I've been around.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Show my face a bit more. I haven't been really active, and I feel a bit bad, so I've kind of been trying to catch up with him. I've seen Mojo a few times around, and I'm like, as soon as I saw him in the chat, I was like, I have to get up here and see him. So I was just like, can I come up?
Yeah. I feel privileged that I got to meet Mojo. I tell you what, Mojo, I get such a kick out of you. Your personality, awesome. You're one of those few and rare reasonable people, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you a story because I'm so mellow, but yet I can raise my voice. You know, I used to go backpacking a lot. And my buddy, we did the PCT, part of the PCT, you know, the Pacific.
Oh, awesome. Yep.
And we're out there for 7 days, and we're going past breakfast. And we past lunch. It's just right up the hill. We're almost there. Passing dinner. And I'm like, dang, it's like 11:30 at night, haven't ate all day, really. And we finally get to our destination. And it's all because, okay, I'm good. You know, instead of saying, dude, we're stopping, we're eating now.
Right.
That was our longest day, though. That was the best thing I ever did right there, Sty. That was really fun, man.
Was
7
it?
days on the PCT.
I think back when I lived in northwestern Montana, and my longest spell there was 5 weeks. I left the cabin, made sure everything was intact and ready for my absence, made sure the wife had a couple of good firearms, plenty of ammo, and plenty of food to get them through for a month and a half. And I said, I'm out of here. I'm going in the backcountry for 5 to 6 weeks. And I did.
How nice is that, you know? Seriously. Now you live 40 miles to your doctor, right?
No, actually, right now where I live, I'm only 6 blocks from my doctor.
Oh, okay.
I'll be 16 blocks from her when I move to the new house. No, it's when I was at 16 blocks.
Oh my, you gonna be okay on that?
Oh, I don't know.
Tripling your distance.
I know. I don't know if my truck can handle it. But yeah, it was 40 miles to the dock all last summer because I lived down at camp. And camp's 42 miles from here. But yeah, I see Jessica out there. She's saying, "Hi, Sty. We love Shaga and your channel." It is so nice of you, Jessica, Tony. Um, Shaga. Gotta have my Shaga. The I've got I got 5 of these bottles sitting around the house right now of chaga.
Nice.
The
Okay, what is chaga?
it's a superfood. It's a fungus that grows on birch trees.
Oh, cool.
Big black fungus that grows on them, and the inside of them's nice coppery colored. And you harvest it off the tree, break it all into chunks. A lot of people will grind it down to like coffee grounds. I like to just use the chunks, and then you steep it like a tea, but just steep it for hours,
Right.
and it'll turn pitch black. I mean,
Wow.
as black can get. I have never seen coffee as black as Shaga can get, and it's got a very earthy, almost vanilla flavor to it, and it's got the highest level, they say, of all medicinal natural plant life. Shaga has the highest level of medicinal properties of anything out there. It's got anti-tumor and cancer qualities to it. And people say, well, some of that stuff's not proven. Well, okay, we can say that, and it goes back to never trust the Rusky, Yeah, you don't trust the Russians, but the Russians have been drinking Shaga all the way back to cavemen. The Iceman, when they found him, that ancient bugger, what was he? I can't remember. 6,000, 10,000, 11,000 years old, that frozen mummy up in the mountains. Guess what he had with him? Medicinal herbs and Shaga. Shaga has been in use for thousands of years medicinally.
Now, where did you get it from, right?
I harvest
from
it.
our earth, the trees and stuff like that.
You have to harvest it. It can't be cultivated. Right. There's no way for it to be cultivated. They've tried, but you can't.
So this is what you get things from our earth. We get our food from the ground and it grows, right? So
and that's it. Is
that's a big thing,
Is I know it for some people it kind of freaks them out. I said every time you eat, where did that food come from? All that food came from our earliest ancestors.
Yeah.
And they go, what do you mean? I said, it all came from our earliest ancestors. I said, this planet has been fertilized by billions upon billions of dead people.
Yeah.
So I guarantee you, everything you're eating, you're benefiting from everything that lived and died all the way into the past, because it takes that to make our soil capable to produce what it does. And not a single living, breathing creature can exist without what grows out of the ground. So when environmentalists go on and on about watch how you interrupt this, wildlife, animal, and that animal, and this and that, I tell them, well, you're trying to save one critter. A two-legged critter is cutting down all their forest.
Yeah.
So you ain't gonna save nothing unless you look. You got to look. Yeah, you got to look at the trees, not just the forest. You got to look at the trees. You can't. we can't destroy what comes out of our ground because that's what provides everything we need. It all comes from the earth. It's coming out of the ground.
Some way, in some form. So do you know Radiance 98405?
Yeah, Rain Dancer.
Oh, is it Rain? Yeah, Rain Dancer Radiance. She's my neighbor.
Is she really?
She's pretty darn close to me, yes. So good old T-Town. I grew up in Tacoma. And
that's right. You had said that.
As a kid, a lot of stomping grounds where the Tacoma Dome is. I used to play in that field as a kid, in those freeways and stuff. All kinds of stuff down there. In fact, I was just at the McMinimans last Saturday watching this guy do the blues, playing the blues.
Oh,
amazing show. But I'm over here in Bonnie Lake, Rain Dancer. Pretty close. Cool.
That's neat. Cool. Yeah, she says cool.
And I'm all the way across the pond.
Yeah. So she's on the other side of Bonnie Lake, right?
Yeah.
But going the other way, way over, the ocean and back over the lake. But yeah.
Yeah. Who's closer to Gemma? Actually, it's Mike.
Me.
Is it Mike?
It's Mike. It's Mike.
Lucky me.
Yeah. Lucky you.
When I come over to the States next year, then I'll be able to see you all.
Nice. How long
you
going
know?
to be over here?
I'm going to be over there from the beginning of May till the beginning of July.
Oh,
wow.
And where are you going, if you don't mind me asking?
And me and my dad are just going to do a road trip and try and schedule, like, before time, obviously, a roadmap of where you guys are. And then I'm going to try and do a couple of meetups on the East Coast and West Coast. So
nice.
Yeah.
So you guys who want to meet up, then I can schedule it.
We were kind of planning this thing, and then that damn COVID hit.
Yeah, stupid COVID. And then I said to my dad, I'm still going to do it next year. I said, I'm not being stopped next year. Screw it. So we've started to plan that we're going to do an East Coast and West Coast meet up and plan somewhere for you guys to be able to get to, and then we'll
yeah, it would be neat if you could make a stop. I hate to say it, but make a stop somewhere near Chicago.
Yep, I will, because there's a few people in the Chicago area that want me to meet up. So Chicago is going to be one of the places I want to go.
See now, like Phil and I and Mike, we'd have to chain them up and stuff them in the trunk to get them there.
There's a few West Coast guys I need to get to as well. There's Samantha and a few others in the West Coast that I need to get to.
Oh, Samantha's way up in Canada, up in Alaska, isn't she? Yeah.
Yeah, she's in Alaska. Yeah.
So if you see her, you got to stop and see me, right?
That's it.
Heck,
well,
yeah.
she could go. She could go anywhere near Seattle, and
by a bunch of us.
And anybody in Alaska, they can hop the ferry and come down the Inland Passage, and go to Juneau and then come on down the coast if they don't want to fly. I did the Inland.
Long. I'm looking forward to it.
That sounds so fun. Road trips are amazing.
Yeah,
especially I've been wanting to go to the US for so long, and then now it's just finally getting close. I'm just like, I'm finally going to be able to have a holiday. Damn it.
Yeah, a true holiday.
Yeah, I haven't been out of the country in like 5 years. It sucks.
Yeah. So are you planning on visiting any parks, national parks?
Yeah, I hope so. I've heard a lot about Yellowstone and a few other areas that I would love to go and see, and I want to go to Disney as well, because I want to see the Disneyland, because I'm a big Disney kid, so I want to go and do that. And there's a few other little bits that I want to go and see. I've heard you guys have the most amazing steak houses and stuff, so we don't have them over here. So I want to have an American steak.
There you go.
Well, we can
But-
order some meat from what is it, China? The
Oh,
Wagyu.
yeah, Kobe beef.
Kobe beef.
There's a lot of people who I want to do meetups with. I know Sty, Phil, obviously you, Mojo, Mike, and a few others who I've known for a long time. There's a few
Yeah.
people.
Well, you know who's number
Yeah.
one on your list, right? Sty.
Yeah.
Sty's got to be number one
I-
on your list.
Yeah,
Me and
I've
Sty
been,
have talked about this before.
I've been, you know, Jevin and I, we don't always get to connect, but you know, she knows damn well old Sty's keeping an eye on her in the background all the time. You know, I
Heck
just
yes.
it's just, you know, I got to the point where I just wanted to make, I just make it a point to make sure she's doing okay, and
Yeah.
she's been through a lot of rough times, and
Yeah.
literally just through her own hard-headedness got herself through it, you know. And
Yeah.
Yep. Stopping.
yeah, I've referred several people to her channel when they act like they're giving up on things. I tell them, you go over and you
Yeah.
watch this gal and you watch some of her back videos. You can tell by the titles when she's going through a rough spell. You go back and you watch what she's endured, what she goes through. And I said, don't ever give me this I'm giving up bullshit. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I know. I've been told that. I'm like, oh no, I got to cheer up, and I do a lot more like positive stuff now. And I'm like late today, I'm going to a local theatre to watch a comedy show. So I've got prior permission from the owners to film a tour shown inside of the building and the inside of the auditorium room and the restaurant and things. So I want to take my phone on a tripod and I'm going to walk around and film inside the theatre. So
That's nice.
that'll be a nice video for me to do because I haven't done one for
Yeah.
ages. So
I love your videos where you're putting yourself
I love
in
going back outside.
known trigger situations. She'll go like when you're riding the trains and that. I
God,
love.
yeah, that's one of the worst ones.
I love, but I love those videos. They are so real. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
I did a train video about a month ago. I went on a train trip with my friend, and she was like, "Gemma, you haven't filmed anything like this for a while because we haven't been able to travel." So I was like, "Oh," so I filmed it, and the noises and people in the background, and she was like, and even my friend, she has bipolar, and she struggled to listen to it when we were editing it and playing it back, going through it. She was like, "Oh my God, Gemma!" She's like, "No," she's like, "Turn it
Yeah.
off," and even she
Yeah.
couldn't listen to it, and I'm just like, "Uh-oh."
yeah. Well, there's that one you were in a restaurant with someone and you were explaining how you did not anticipate how noisy it was going to be because
Oh yeah.
all the customers are talking. Waitresses
Yeah.
coming back
Yeah.
and forth constantly. You can hear the noise in the kitchen, and the damn place had fluorescent lighted stuff all over
Yeah.
the
Oh
place.
God, that did my head in.
And she managed to get all the way through that event and get out. I just said, man, knowing what I know about her now, that was tough. That was freaking tough, man. You
Yeah,
talk
being in a
about
restaurant for me is not easy because, like you said, you've got the noise, you've got crowd, you've got the smell of the food, you've got people being loud, and it's like for me, one of the triggers of me is it's when you have like children with high pitched
Yeah.
screams and all you can hear is them yelling, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like shut up. So it's like
Yeah,
that. And,
it's so hard when you're filming like that. And my big thing is like kids. I don't film kids. I just, I don't think
right.
parents
Right.
want
I don't
their
film
kids on there or anything.
No.
So I never do that. I'll block them out. And it's just like you said, the noises throw me
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
And it throws me
Yeah,
off
it's
on the
absolutely
game
horrid.
and what I'm doing. But
I have I
Hey
just
Nick.
I've had so many incidents over the years that with kids that when I hear kids scream, kids they can be just playing, and they're kind of noisy, and then one of them will let out a screech or a squeal or something that sounds just like a kid in distress, and that's what drives me nuts. Is that's what whenever there's kids around, that's what I'm waiting to hear, is this kind of like help me squeal, and I've always been panicky that way around kids, that one of them's going to get hurt, and I know damn well nobody's keeping an eye on them. I would prejudge everybody. They ain't keeping an eye on their damn kids. I know they are.
Just like earlier, there was a police car outside here, outside my apartment, and the siren is one of the triggers that really irritates me. And all I could hear was this, woo, 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 and I'm sitting here going, "It'll be over in a minute. It's temporary. It's temporary. It's temporary." And for about 20 minutes, this siren was just going on and on and on. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to rip someone's head off. And I literally stood there, got my phone and my tripod, and went out to the front door and just filmed it. And this police officer comes up to me and goes, "What are you doing?" I went, "Filming this because it's aggravating me. I'm autistic. I don't deal well with high-pitched noise. I have a YouTube channel." He goes, "You're not going to upload it, are you?" And hell yeah, I am. I was like, this is frigging annoying me. I was like, this is a perfect example of how you don't deal well with people. And he's like, "You can't do that." I went, "Try me."
Yeah.
And I'm uploading it tomorrow. I've got it on my phone, and I'm like, "You can't stop me uploading it." I said, "It doesn't have you in it." I said, "That just has the pure noise and me talking over it." I was like, "You can't do nothing about it." So
Yeah.
he was like, "Well, it's got my police car in it." "Yes, but you're not in the car, are you? So it doesn't matter. It's not like I've got you sitting there in the car." So
See, that's the one thing I really like about the US is there's a few states that try to restrict it, but in general, like here in the state of Wisconsin, I can take my camera.
oh, Mojo.
Oh, Mojo. Oh,
Yes, I do
Thanks.
metal music.
thank you, brother. That goes a long ways, man. It really does.
Don't you owe me $5?
What's that?
Don't you owe me $5?
Well, he just got $3 and like 60 cents or something like that.
Yeah. I do owe you $5, but remember I got that on a 25-year note.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You owe me like you missed 6 months of payments when you were out there camping, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm supposed to make quarterly payments of about a quarter. So the but yeah.
So
I'll tell you what. I got so many upgrades with my relocation, with my move. Literally, I was kind of doing inventory this afternoon as to what's going to be going into the new studio, because my new studio's huge. It's about 16 by 18 feet. And all the walls are painted blue for blue screen. So it doesn't matter where I have camera in that room. I'll have a background like this, no matter where I'm at. I can have the camera all the way across the room, and the whole room will have my blue screen on. It'll be my blue screen image, and I'll be small in it. So
how about the ceiling?
The ceiling is white. Okay. So all I have to do but the ceilings in that house are 9 feet.
No kidding?
Yeah, it's an old Victorian colonial mix, and it's got 9-foot ceilings. Wow. So I was looking at it, and I'll never be able to get the camera far enough back, but to maybe catch a corner of the ceiling if I have the lens kind of maybe at about 3 degrees. But if I got the lens horizontal, I can take it anywhere in that room, and it's just blue. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. But when I get my desks, my actual studio desk set up with all the equipment and everything, to the left of it, there's going to be like a studio couch. So I can have locals come and do live interviews right in the studio. with me. That I'm going to enjoy. But I was showing earlier. This is what I use for my studio right now. I've got a
That's your desk?
That's the desk I use. It's got a monitor on it, and my cameras, my Stream Deck, keyboard. At the bottom, it's got my big desktop, my big tower, and a large external hard drive. But this is what I'm replacing this with.
Oh, cool. Wow, look at that.
That's what I'm getting. The only difference is mine will have 3 screens.
Oh, you're going to have 3.
Yeah.
Are you running off a laptop or a computer?
I'm running off of a desktop.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, the triple screen, 2 of the screens will be running off of this primary desktop, which my primary desktop is just YouTube.
Yeah. Right.
I've got a secondary computer now that I run like peripheral programs. And I've got a third computer that I use for all of my editorial work, editing videos and
nice
stuff like that. So all those systems will be all integrated into that desk. And and I've got studio lighting galore for that studio, thanks to running water. He doubles up everything that
you order for yourself.
Yeah,
right?
he's got everything I've got on top of what I got. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a blast. Yeah, doing live streams will be great. It's going to be really comfortable. A lot more that a person can do. And with StreamYard, they're tricking out StreamYard, adding a lot of features.
Yeah.
You can get the integrated backgrounds now instead of having to use blue screen if you wish. Which is nice because that, again, you can have the camera as far away from you as you want, and that background will fill the screen. You just become smaller because you're so distant, So,
could you imagine? Could you imagine this? One wall of flowing water in the woods, like a river, going into the other wall, still flowing. Yep. Or mountains or whatever.
Yep.
It's endless.
You could have a beautiful mountain background with a big valley going towards those mountains off in the horizon, and have the clouds moving through those mountains constantly behind you, and you can have your whole damn studio within the frame.
Yeah.
And you see that whole scenery back there actually animated and moving. That there's so much more that a person will be able to do just to make the atmosphere more inviting.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you don't have to. I do know what'll happen because it happened 2 years ago when I first started getting involved with streaming. So many people that I knew, they were jumping on the streaming wagon right with everybody else, and they all wanted OBS, and some of them, it got to the point where I couldn't watch them because I never paid attention to them because they have so much going on their screen all over the place, overlays on overlays and animations all over and on and on and on. It was so distracting that it actually was watching their screen, not them. So I wasn't there for them. I was there to watch their OBS stuff. And now a lot of YouTube, what they call the pros, are saying to avoid that. Don't get it so busy that you take away from the purpose of your stream.
Yeah.
It makes sense on like promo channels that are trying to promo other channels and the like. Yeah, it makes sense for that. But yeah, everything in its place, you know. The
Green Bay Wacky.
Green Bay Wacky. Oh boy, do I know Green Bay Wacky. He's wacky.
Yeah, he had his screen was like that. He had a
Yeah.
million things going on all the time.
Yeah, and he would admit that he was very guilty of that, but he had a blast playing with
Oh
it,
yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah.
And he was one where I watched him before he started getting all tricked out.
Yeah.
I would watch him and I'd listen to him because he's a stand-up comic, man. He's funny.
Yeah.
And
What's his channel again?
Green Bay Wacky. Green Bay Wacky. Yeah. And he does a lot of parody music and a lot of comedy skits and stuff. He's a character. He's a real character.
Yeah, he has
but
a lot going on.
I mean, look at his picture.
yeah. He's funny. And he's a perfect example of where I got lost in everything that he's got going on in the background and around himself while he's doing things, where I missed so much that he said. Because I'm watching everything else. I'm paying attention to that. And I told him that I have that issue. And he laughed and he said, I can't quit doing it. He said, it's too much fun. You know,
Totally.
So I get it. You know, I understand why he's doing it. Hey, Lawn Dog. How about having a Hawaiian, very sunny and warm day in the background when you guys are swamped in snow? Oh yeah. See, now here, and I've been doing that over the last about almost 2 weeks now. I'm going back looking at the progression of my channel. I look at my oldest videos and my newest. Then I look at the next oldest, the next newest. I'm working towards the center, so I can see what the evolution of my channel was. I'll tell you what, I look at some of that old stuff, especially on the streams. That has been interesting. I look at some of my first streams and I go, why in the hell did people come and watch that crap? And quality is choppy and yeah, it was just pretty quirky and odd. And I can see how I went from Google Hangouts to OBS to just using YouTube Create Live and then going to StreamYard. Going to StreamYard made the difference.
It's user friendly.
Yeah, and I was found that I could do more. I could make it a little more interesting, but to watch that evolution of going through trial and error and the but I didn't have blue screen. Behind me is this is a poured concrete wall painted white, solid concrete. You can't hang nothing on that bugger. I tried. I bought these. I got a whole stack of them in the other room. All these different outdoor scene tapestries.
Mm-hmm.
And they're huge. A couple of them are 12 footers. Most of them are 10. They're 10 by 8, most of them. But I've tried Velcroing clamps up on the wall. I tried using adhesive Velcro on the wall and the tapestry. That adhesive won't stay on this wall. I've tried so many different brands, and none of it will stay on that wall.
That's what you need. Put that on.
Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, Gorilla Glue it. And I actually had streams. I'd be sitting here like this chatting with people on the panel, and all of a sudden I've got this beautiful winter mountain scene that peels off the wall right over the top of me, buries me,
That's called an avalanche.
and I'm fighting. Well, yeah, I get hit with an avalanche because my tapestry peeled off the wall in the middle of a live stream. But I look at those and I thought that was so awesome. There's one woodland tapestry, looked great. Looked like I was sitting right out in the woods, and it was a spot in the forest that I camped that looked exactly like it. So it was perfect. And I can remember how thrilled I was when I got that tapestry up there. Well, my wall's not perfectly even, and there's a corner right here, right next to me. There's a corner. Well, that tapestry has to come off this wall and go at an angle to the next wall. And I look back at those streams, and you can see all of the wrinkles in the tapestry, and you can see it moving because I got a fan going all the time. You can see the tapestry moving, and then it would peel off. Okay, I'd be sitting there, and all of a sudden I'd realize, looking at my screen, the whole corner's peeled off. And the quality with the tapestries are very detailed looking until you do a video. Then it's like it's blurry, smoky looking, but I thought it was cat's ass. Then I got StreamYard and blue screen, and I'm going, well, okay. Things improve, I guess. And
as time goes by, you just get, you learn a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
When I first, my camera I used for videotaping, first mic I got was a shotgun mic, thinking that was a great one to use, right?
Yeah.
No. Your video and your sound are your two main important things when you're videotaping.
That's it. And it's like they say, if you have to sacrifice something, sacrifice a little bit of your video, but never sacrifice your audio.
Yeah.
Because people are much more willing to listen to you than
to watch.
They're not so intent on what they, especially if you're not demoing something.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just like this, we're sitting here talking to them.
Right.
If this could be, we could have hesitations and lags and things, as long as it never affects the audio.
Mm-hmm.
And people, they'll mention, oh, you're freezing up, but we can hear you, and if you tell them, well, maybe I should stop. Well, no, we can hear you all right, just lagging once in a while. They want to keep going. But if your video is perfect and all they hear they're the hell out of there, man. They don't want nothing to do with that stuff. If the audio is poor, they're leaving.
So I know a lot of people, right? I deliver to a lot of places. I don't know if you know what I do. Have I ever told you what I do?
Mm-hmm.
Work for Airmark,
Right.
So you ever heard of Krusty's, the pancake mix?
Oh, yeah. I use it.
So
Krusty's waffle mix.
Yeah. The waffle mix? Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
I've been delivering to that place for 23 years?
Oh, wow. I
know all those people. So where that product comes from, I deliver their uniforms, right?
Oh, wow.
So that's why I know a lot of people. That's just one stop where I know hundreds of people, and I know hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yeah.
So the guy tells me, goes, I was watching your one video, and I go, oh, cool. And but I had to turn it off because your audio at one point was coming in and out. I had a problem with my audio, right? And at first you just get, defensive. You're like, what?
Right. Yeah. What do you mean?
Up. And
then you fine to me.
Hey, hello.
Yeah.
So you just learn. You think about it and you go, I guess I didn't catch that, but whatever.
Well, that's it. And the thing is There's nothing wrong with a person's got to just automatically say, "Oh no, did I screw up again?" and if you come off light about it to them, that, "Oh, well, thanks for letting me know that happened. I did not even see it, realize it, whatever." People are quite forgiving. They're quite forgiving, and I've had many streams. Just a week ago, I started one off, and here I come on screen, and what am I doing? I'm sitting here just going.
Yeah, I remember.
And thank goodness one of my loyal viewers says, Sty, you're muted. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, so, how long have I been doing this? Come on.
So this is what I say. Now, if it was people like online, I would say really nicely, "Thank you, sorry about that, apologize."
Yeah.
But people I know like him, what the hell did you turn it off for?
Yeah, why didn't you wait till I got it to
the end? I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, how dare you? Something that's simple and you're going to shut me down. What's wrong with you?
So I get all those Krusty products for free, whatever I want.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's going to be pancake heaven around your place, man.
A little bit. I've been doing it a lot of years, so to me, it's...
Well, yeah, it becomes old hat, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever hear of or know of Archway cookies?
Yeah, Archway cookies were kind of like they weren't around. No,
they actually were around for a very long time.
Long time ago.
But yeah. I mean, it was an old company. Its first original company, I believe, is the one that I'm familiar with, and that was
you know what the popular one of those was that windmill.
The windmill, yes. The windmill cookies looked like a windmill, and they were good sized cookies. They were big cookies,
like a gingerbread. I want to say almost.
It was a firm cookie, but it was had that ginger kind of flavor to it, and it had sliced almonds.
Yep. Oh yeah, and they were good.
They were good, but now in Wilmer, Minnesota, Archway had a huge cookie factory.
Oh yeah,
and they and no, Wilmer, Minnesota.
Wilmer, okay.
Yeah, and they at that time were the main source for the Midwest, where all Archway products were coming out of Wilmer.
Right.
Well, my grandfather was a farmer, and he was a cookie cook at the Wilmer Archway factory. They would give them these. They looked like they were copper, but they were kind of a goldish colored stainless steel tin that probably would hold about 4 gallons of water if you poured water in them. Mm-hmm. But they give them those tins. They could help themselves to them as many as you want. All of the culls, all of the seconds on their assemblies would go into those big metal tins. Right. And the employees could just help themselves. My grandpa would walk out of that place with a bin under each arm every single shift. And he worked 5 days. He worked 5 days a week. That's 10 of them 4-gallon tins of cookies. And that was one thing my grandmother hated him for it, because he said, because she was always, "You're going to spoil your dinner. Don't eat none." My grandpa, Archway cookies, they can eat all of them they want, because he'd bring those things home and he'd use a wax pencil and put the date on it. Mm. And after 4 days, that container, whatever's left in it, sometimes it's not even touched, because everybody's eating out of the first one, and there's 2 every day. But whatever's dated and it's a few days old, like on the 4th day, he would take those out and he'd feed it to his hogs.
Yeah.
So his hogs were eating all them cookies. Not a single cookie got wasted. But I can remember my father going, that crazy old fart feeding them damn pigs some expensive cookies. And my grandma kept trying to tell him, they're garbage. They're garbage that tastes good.
Well,
That's what they are.
Krusty's does the same thing.
Do they?
It seems like I haven't seen it in a while, but it said hog feed, and they would fill up these things with all that pancake and all those mixes.
Yeah.
To the hog farms.
Well, and they do it around here, the big cookie producers in Wisconsin and Michigan. Mm-hmm. You can get a hold of them. Nestle's is one you can, and it's like $35 for a 55-gallon barrel. Right. And you pay them a $15 deposit on the barrel, and if you bring it back to them, they give you your $15 back. So it costs you $50 for the barrel, and it's packed tight, full to the lid top with cookie dough, and you use it for bear. We use it for bear bait.
Yeah. Now that place isn't that located up by you? Nestle's or whatever.
They have one of their headquarters in Medford, Wisconsin.
Okay.
They bought out, which there's a lot of rage over this.
Who's owned by Nestle now?
Well, Nestle owns so many. They own Roma Pizza, and Tombstone. And I used to live right in Medford when I was driving over the road truck, and I loved it. You could get a hold of Tombstone, their main office, and say, I want to be on the disposal list. They called it the disposal list. And they take your name and phone number. If they had a big run of pizzas there's nothing wrong with them. They just, all the pepperoni ended up dumped on one side instead of across the whole pizza, and we got a whole line of those. We got 600 of them. They still run them through packaging and flash freezing, but they call everybody on that list and say, we got pizzas, you can come get them. You go down there and they'd have sometimes thousands of pizzas, all cased up, packaged up, that are seconds, and they're fresh, made within the last 24 hours. Yeah. Help yourself, take as many as you want. Right. And I was amazed. A lot of the farmers that had pigs around, we didn't have any big pig operations. But most of the family farms had a few pigs, They'd run down there to get a bunch for pig food. But boy, they found out in a hurry, they got to stand back and let the people that just love Tombstone Pizza get theirs first. Then they can have everything that's left over.
Fill up your freezers with those, man.
A couple of times I'd go down there and get 6 cases, and there's half a dozen pizzas per case. I'd get 6 of them, haul them home, and Tombstone for every meal for a month. Have at it, kids. But once Nestle took it over, they won't even sell the culls to you.
Right.
They go to waste. They go out to the landfill.
So when you go to the store in the freezer section, you see the Krusties, like pancakes that are frozen.
Yep.
And the waffles. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. I've eaten them.
So that's owned by ConAgra Foods, ConAgra Brands. I don't know if you know who ConAgra is. They're huge. They own multiple things.
Yeah.
But back in the day, when I do believe Krusty's owned them, I used to walk right out on the floor and pull off pancakes or the McGriddles from from McDonald's.
Yeah.
So they made the McGriddles. They actually do it now.
Those things, those McGriddles, man, I wish I could get a couple cases of them suckers. Because they got that maple kind of flavor to them. Yeah. I wish I had a couple cases. For you.
I'm telling you.
I don't care at this stage of the game. They are, man.
I'd walk right out to the line, man, pick them right up off the line and go eat them. And now I don't even go on the floor. I don't. It's a totally different world now.
Well, when I was driving over the road, I hauled for weather shield windows. And I'd say 90% of the time when I'd leave town, I got a semi-load of windows with sometimes a single stop, sometimes 3-4 stops, delivering to work sites or right to a warehouse. But then I'd haul something in return. But I was in a division of Weather Shield called Weather Shield Ltd., all leased trucks. They weren't the trucks weren't owned by the company, but you lease on with the company. Well, Weather Shield Ltd., we didn't haul windows all the time like most of their trucks. We would get all kinds of loads, weird loads. I hauled more powdered milk working for them for 3 years. And you know what's really nuts is the powdered buttermilk.
Buttermilk. Wow.
It is so heavy and it's so rich. Don't let any of them bags ever get wet.
Yep.
I mean, your truck's going to smell of buttermilk for months. You do not want a bag of that shit tearing, nothing.
And it's kind of does it get like a rotten smell or almost, or does it smell just like buttermilk?
It's real sweet and buttery smelling. Yeah. It's not so much like buttermilk itself, that more soury.
Yeah.
It doesn't sour like that, but it's a real rich, buttery. It's I don't know. It's almost like you stuck your face in a bowl full of room temperature butter or something. Real strong. But I would haul that powdered buttermilk. A lot of people don't know the ingredients of the things we use, you know.
No.
But I'd haul semi-loads of that stuff down into Missouri. I don't remember what town it was in, but there was a big cheese plant there. And I'd haul it there. And I thought, oh, cheese plants, man, we got them all over Wisconsin. We're the dairy state of the world, you know. Oh, no, that's not a cheese plant like we have. No, they don't make real cheese there. They make all of the powdered cheese for Lay's and Old Dutch and all of the big chip companies.
Right.
Per that chip company's recipes. And they even make all of powdered cheese that goes in Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Oh, yeah.
They make all of that. I don't know how anybody can work in that damn place. I got there with my first load, and this fella said, "Hey, I'll take you for a tour of the plant. You want to check this out?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd be interested." Well, those bags, they palletize them all, but they pull a pallet up, and there's two guys, and they each grab a corner, all four corners of a bag, because these bags are 50-pounders. And they're doing this for 8 hours straight. They're grabbing that 50-pounder, and all they do is set it on a conveyor. From that point on, no human hands touch anything. It's just those two guys. And they're putting that on the conveyor. But the other ingredients have two guys unloading those on the conveyors. They all go up to what they call the bag cutters, and they come out on this deck, go down a chute, and this big ass round razor blade goes zing across the bag, and it cuts the bag in half, and this thing folds open, that platform it's on, and all the ingredients dump down and go down these big tubes into these giant mixers.
Mm-hmm.
And each type of cheese gets its own ingredients, own amounts.
Right.
And the batch sits there and runs for so many hours to make sure everything's mixed perfect. But that place, you look through it, the floor is bright orange, and it's about 2 inches thick, deep with that shit and cheese, powdered cheese. And the employees, about every 15, 20 minutes, you'll see one running out. They got side doors exiting that big processing room. And one after another, they're running out there, and you see them, and they'll go, they blow out nothing but cheese, and they're coughing and spitting cheese. And they're wearing respirators, and they're still getting it in their sinuses and crap. And the one guy said, I said, that's disgusting. You guys running out there and doing that. He says, oh, don't get caught doing it in here. And I said, what? Well, why? What? All this stuff on the floor? That's got to be going to like hog feed or something. Who gives a shit? And I said, you can't get inside those your machines. There's no people. It's all automated because it comes out the other end and packages it and all that. They said, no. He says, you got to watch. He says, about an hour and a half before shift change, we'll switch products. We'll run one product through a whole shift, and then we'll shift the recipe and make a new product. But for about an hour and a half, the whole line shuts down, and they finish bagging up what's in that mix. And he says, and every spare set of hands is running around down here with scoop shovels and brooms, and all of it gets scooped off the floor. And he walked me over, and there's looks like a big chute, big funnel. And he says it all gets dumped in there, goes back up into the feeder tank to the packaging, and it gets packaged.
Oh, no way.
He says, because anything that ends up on this floor is seeping out of that big mixer. And he said, so it's that batch. He says, we don't waste it. No, it goes back in and gets packaged. I said, you're really fucking up my mac and cheese, Yeah. I said, yeah.
Well, that wouldn't happen today.
I've had a couple hairy Doritos.
That's
probably why.
Yeah. Now this happens today. I bet you it's happening right now, this minute.
Oh, yeah.
The Gidney Pickle Factory in Shakopee, Minnesota. I hauled salt to them, right? They use a lot of salt in their brine tanks and everything. Well, Gidney Pickle sits on about 80 acres. And only about 10 of that 80 acres is their building, processing, canning, bottling. All the rest of it is, somebody say, look at that.
It came in perfect.
So, Doritos.
Doritos.
I know where the cheese comes from, but at Gidney Pickle, about 70 acres of that property are all brine tanks, and they're outdoors. About
70 or 80%, you said?
70 acres of an 80-acre piece of land is covered with these big brine tanks. And there's no roof over them. They're open air.
Yeah.
But they got chicken wire over them, right?
Yeah.
So that things can't fall in the tanks, supposedly. Well, the chicken wire is 1-inch chicken wire, so bugs and the like can get in there, no problem. But all the pickles sit out in that brine for a certain period of time. And then all those tanks have these big discharge pipes on them. And they'll discharge a tank to get all the pickles down that pipe, and they go into the factory, and then they get put in they get pressure washed, fresh brine, sliced, if they're getting sliced, whatever. They're jarred, fresh brine, sealed, blah, blah, blah. Okay. They let me go out and walk the brine tanks because they said they couldn't unload me for at least an hour or two.
Right.
And they said, if you want, go walk the brine tanks. That's kind of interesting. I only walked maybe about 10 acres of that 70 acres. must have seen in that 10 acres 50 or 60 of these brine tanks. On my walk, 3 dead dogs, a cat,
Really?
and a shitload of birds. Because these tanks, those wire meshes they put over, a lot of them, the wire mesh is torn or it's pulled apart and there's openings. And these damn stray dogs will go over there and they see all the birds like to hang out around them things. And the dogs will jump up there to chase a cat or to chase the birds, and they'll fall in the tank. Well, they drowned in there.
Yeah.
But those pickles get sucked out of there, and they go in there with a big long pole with a hook on it and get a hold of the dead animal and fling it out. And those pickles go in that. Those pickles go in the plant, and they get pressure washed. They actually go through a pressure washing process. Then they come out and they go through slicers and all kinds of things. But the big dill pickles, the ones that are whole, the big ones, they're coming down the line, and they've got quality control people on all their lines, and they're pulling. Oh, that's an ugly pickle. Pitch that one, that kind of thing. And the employees are allowed to go ahead and eat any pickles they want. And then people are eating them damn pickles. And I asked this one gal, I said, you ever go out to them tanks out there where them pickles are coming from? She goes, I haven't been out there, but I know what goes on out there. She says, I just block it out. She says, these are the best pickles you could ever taste.
There's a special brine.
There's a special brine for that pickle. I mean, I could not believe it. Could not believe it. And they said, really, it doesn't affect the pickles because they inspect the tanks every 24 hours. So if there's a dead dog in one, it's only been in there for maybe 8 or 10 hours. I don't care if it's been in there 5 minutes. It don't belong in my batch of pickles. I just, oh, Lordy. Norton Dog Food. I hauled powdered milk to them.
Oh, so Norton Dog Food. I was going to bring this up to you, but I'll let you go ahead on this.
I got to their plant, and I'm asking them, where do I unload this powdered milk? Oh, you go over here. You'll see 2 truck entrances there. You don't use either one of them. You go past them, and there you'll see the alley backing in down to the warehouse. You back in there. That's where you go. And same deal. Got me the loading dock. They said, it's going to be a couple hours before we get to your truck. I said, okay. Can I wander around? You go ahead, wander around. So I went back to where these 2 truck lanes were that were going down into like pits towards the building. And I realized both of those lanes got livestock trucks out, backed in there. And I keep hearing this vroom, vroom, vroom. So I walked down this catwalk to the end of that trailer. The one truck was full of.
Make me throw up.
This one truck was full of sheep, dead sheep.
Yeah.
But it was full of dead sheep. And there's like 6 guys at the ass end of that truck grabbing sheep and pitching them down this chute. And they'd slide down that chute, and when they disappear, you'd hear that zoom, zoom. The next truck over was all fucking chickens. The whole truck.
Yeah.
It was a livestock carrier. It wasn't a chicken truck. And it was full of dead chickens halfway up the height of that trailer. And they're in there, and they're using pitchforks and flinging chickens out of that truck down that chute. And the same thing. That they're really sending the chickens, and it's just. I went in the plant, and they got these big, huge mixers. First, it's the meat mixing section.
Yeah.
Then it's they take all that ground. It's ground meat, bones, hooves, everything. It's grinding the whole damn animal.
How did it smell?
It wasn't as bad as I would have expected, but they've got ventilation fans that are blowing out, and those fans are like 12 feet high.
Yeah.
And built in the walls, and there's no space in between them, and there's like 15 on each wall, on the 2 walls. So the smell wasn't too bad, but I thought, I'm not walking out around the building on the side those fans are blowing. There ain't no way in hell. But once you get past that meat processing part, then there's these big tanks. You can see where they're dumping in bags of different things, flour and cornmeal and all kinds of other stuff. And that's coming over to the meat section. And that's going into these giant mixers, these big tumblers that's mixing the meat and all that. And it's adding water, I guess, for the moisture.
The ingredients and
they're just making a big dough out of it, big paste. And then it comes out and it gets rolled about 15 times to the perfect height, and it goes through the cutters. And the waste travel keeps going, and the doggy biscuits go down a drop about 2 inches, and they're taken off on a different conveyor. Off they go, and they go through the ovens. The waste is getting put into big bins on the end and brought back to run through a second, keep running until they're out of dough. Well, so I walked through the plant. I thought, that is pretty cool. It's all pretty automated, there's not a lot of people in there working, and they're managing to grind the meat, mix all the other ingredients, make a dough, cut out these doggy biscuits. And the doggy biscuits are heading over there. Where are they going? So I walk over there. It's the ovens they go through, and they cook. It's just like your burger at Burger King.
Burger King.
Yeah. It's just like they're cooking your burger at Burger King. I go through that department, get out the other side, and they call that finishing. And that's where they've got like 40 employees. Because, these conveyors are huge, and they're just covered with these doggy biscuits. And these people, it's their job to pull the culls, broken,
right,
bad cut ones and stuff. It's their job, pull those out. And so you got 20 on this side of the line, 20 on that side, and they're just picking like hell and flinging those pieces over their shoulders. And I realized every one of them, every once in a while, they grab one, and it'd be a pretty good sized doggy biscuit, but the one end's broke off. They'll grab it. Pitch it. They're eating them damn doggy biscuits. So I asked this guy, I said, how the hell can you put that in your mouth? He said, what? It's cooked.
Yeah. You ever ate one before?
That I tried, and I couldn't hack it.
No.
I couldn't hack it.
So the worst place I ever delivered to in all the years I've been doing this was a dog food facility. The absolutely worst. You walk in, nothing but a big pile of just meat, and just the smell alone would almost make me vomit. And it was the worst place I ever. That in a place that did minks or foxes or something like that, and they would do the skinning and all that stuff. Yeah,
a mink farm really stinks.
Very frowned on. A lot of big rich people would come to this facility, and then they had all the protesters outside.
Oh yeah,
but that place smelled really, really horrid too.
I think the worst smelling place I was in, that was down in Missouri, not too far out north of the Ozarks down there. Don't remember the town. It was a small town, and it was a huge plant, big, tall plant. But it was way the hell out in the damn country. And I noticed there were no farms or nothing around that damn thing. And I hauled powdered milk to that one. just regular powdered whole milk. And it's used as a filler in a way. I got there, I didn't know what the plant was. That one, there had to have been 30 semi trucks of chickens there waiting to unload. Now that place, I'm amazed PETA wasn't there with the biggest camp in the world, because they weren't killing them chickens before they processed them.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They were just
I've seen it on TV, but
they were just pitching those live chickens down that chute to get ground up. And what it did was they I don't know how in the hell they processed them. I didn't get to see the actual process, but the chicken gets split in half somehow. This machine kind of grabs the chicken, spreads it out, and it literally will cut the meat right off the bones of that damn chicken. So you just got this big pile of meat and all the bones with a little bit of meat and cartilage holding them together. It keeps going down the line. But all the guts and the meat and the feathers off of that chicken go down this other line. And they go through these giant ass steel rollers. And there's nothing but chicken juice, blood coming out of those rollers. One side of the plant you go into, their warehousing area, you go into, and it's these huge piles. The roofs in them damn places are about 90 feet high. And this shit blows out at the top and just fills these big rooms. And then they use bobcats and they take bucketfuls and they dump them into the baggers. And the baggers then are the machines putting it in 20, 40, and 50-pound bags. One side is bone meal. The other side is blood meal. The blood meal, you look at it, it's weird because after it squishes all of the juices out of that chicken meat and hide, that's the blood meal side of it. That little bit of meat, it doesn't look like much after it goes through them damn rollers. Just looks like a big flat pancake of feathers. That goes through the blast furnaces and then the grinders to be part of the bone meal. And you look at the bone meal bag and it'll say, does not exceed 20% feathers.
Right? You know,
they're not kidding. I mean,
you know, because we've experienced,
but that stunk.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize how our food is processed, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid in LA, I was downtown LA somewhere, delivering to a chicken place, and you walk in, and the chickens would be hooked on a hook, going on this conveyor thing right in front of me. Yeah, I'm sure it's done different today, but.
Oh yeah, they still today, a lot of the chicken processing plants, they take the chickens out of the cages as they're coming down from the truck. They take chicken, they hang them by a leg. Some of the machines will have the double swirl hook. They both feet in it. And down they go, and the chicken's wings are kind of hanging out, and he's looking around like, what the hell's going on? And they get up to this Y-shaped stainless steel thing. And it's just at the right height. Their neck and head goes in it, and when the body gets past it, the head drops down into waste containers. They're getting their heads tore off of them. That's how they're dispatching them. How they're getting rid of. And I had the displeasure of being in quite a few slaughterhouses, and the process is not like we used to do it on the farm. No.
I think I'm going to order a chicken sandwich now.
There you go. Boy, I'm craving chicken now. Can't have a sandwich. I forgot to pick up bread when I was at the store today.
Cindy Lou, your doggies are spoiled, but that's good.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I had a dog once that little bastard. Oh, I wanted to kill him so bad. I had chickens. They get out of the hen house and they're running loose on the farm. And that dog would sit there and watch them chickens run around. He never chased a chicken. He'd lay there. Damn chickens come over. They crawl up on top of him, lay on top of him. Never bother a chicken, that dog. But carrots, and especially carrots and potatoes. He'd go out my damn garden and dig up my carrots or a potato plant and get the new potatoes, the smaller ones. And I'd walk out in the yard and he'd be laying there and I'd realize, look at his face. It's all dirt and his paws are all dirt and he's out there with something in his paws and he's go out there and he's got a big ass carrot in his mouth.
Yeah.
And some of the bitch was digging up my garden guy. Just short of shooting him to get him to stop eating all my vegetables. I mean, ridiculous damn dog. I could go out there and wave a nice, freshly grilled steak in front of his nose and a carrot, and he grabbed that damn carrot. That dog loved his veggies, man. He was a crazy character. Now, I know how to get Mike's attention. You wave Schwann's in front of him. And boy, he just perks right up.
He never stops working.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. And I'm proud of him, man, for the.
Did you say Schwann's?
Did you say Schwann's? No, I know. No, I don't think I did. No.
He doesn't like, you don't like Swans, Mike? What's the deal?
I hate Schwann's.
Yeah.
Bullshit. He owns Schwann's.
Does he really?
God, he buys more Schwann's. What he spends for a Schwann's delivery, I can eat for 2 full months on that.
Well, here's the thing, Mike.
Or more.
$400 a month.
So here's the deal. That's amazing that you do that because that supports that driver.
Yeah.
That delivers.
You know what? And I give him cash tip every time too.
Yeah.
Yeah. My delivery guy is awesome.
They absolutely work their tails off for their money that they make. And I know all about Swans and I know what they make and all that.
Yeah.
Those guys work hard for their money and they work long hours for their money.
Yeah, they do. Oh.
So
If I don't do an order by because my delivery is like every other week. So like it's on a Monday. So I have till midnight Sunday to put my order in online. And if I forget, he'll stop and knock on the door.
Uh-huh.
Just to see if I need anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I ordered my Thanksgiving meal up from them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I did. Hey, King Bluto, great to see you out there in the chat. Yeah, Schwann's. Now, hey, Mike, I think you heard that. Okay, when I get moved into Running Water's house, he's got a downstairs full bathroom off of the kitchen, and it's got a big ass steel bathtub in it. I'm getting that the hell out of there, and the washer and dryer are going into that bathroom because it's a long. It's a little narrower, but it's long, that bathroom. So we're going to turn that bathroom into a half bath and laundry room. Well, that means the dryer comes off our back porch, and that back porch is basically a 3-season porch. You know, it's not heated. Running Water informed me the other day, oh, by the way, once you're in there, we'll be having a floor freezer delivered.
Cool.
It's a good thing I'm saving about $150 moving into his place because that'll get spent on Schwann's. If I got a floor freezer, man, yeah, I'm back. Schwann's has got me hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
I like their little corn dogs, I want to say. Mm-hmm. Those mini corn dogs.
Yeah, those are good. I fell in love with their little microwavable omelets.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, they had
their pancakes are awesome.
Yeah, their pancakes are really good
They
too.
can't keep them in stock. Yeah.
I the omelets, so I would get those, and they're they look like a real omelet. They're half moon,
Yeah.
and man, you throw them in the microwave, they're instantly done, just like that.
Yeah.
Their Southwest one was awesome to die for. The sausage one I loved, but I love those things, man. I get up 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm hitting the road by 4:45 to head to my office. Hell, I'm going down the road with two of those on a paper plate in my car, and I'm eating those on the way to work. And
Yeah.
it's like having a real breakfast, and they tasted so damn good. Uh, for frozen convenience food, Schwann's just To me, they've cornered the market. It's a lot of
They did, and look at there. He's got an ice cream right now.
Since you talked about it,
yeah. Talked them right into it. See, and the Schwann's, I had somebody say to me, what's so special about Schwann's, and why is it? It seems like a lot of middle-aged and old people use them. And I said, I'm not kidding. I've talked to a lot of seniors, a lot of people my age, and they got the same mentality I have. I love seeing that Schwann's truck coming through the neighborhood. It reminds me of the milkman. Schwann's
Yeah.
is the replacement for our old milkman. And
I was a milkman driver for 2 weeks in Ohio,
oh, really?
and then I left my ex-wife and moved to Washington State.
Oh,
I
wow.
left her there.
Yeah. I loved that growing up.
Yeah.
Fresh milk every day in glass bottles. And you could get every grade of milk, buttermilk, didn't matter, chocolate milk. You could get your butter, your cheeses, anything dairy.
Mm-hmm.
You could get eggs from our milkman. And in our house, we were a bunch of fatties. I mean, two milk crates with empty bottles and the sort out on the steps. My mom would put them out there 6 o'clock in the morning. By 6:45, there were two full crates sitting out there waiting for her. And those were the days, man. They did that because in the empty crate, they just gave you a shopping list, and you put down what you want, and you put it in one of the empties, and he'll grab that, and that's what he's going to drop tomorrow morning. And they bill you once a month. Where the hell can you get that today? You can't get it. Nobody does that shit.
No.
And
It's got to be better than what Safeway sells, Those
yeah. I miss the days of the milkman. We only had an ice cream wagon for about 3 months. When I was young, I was probably about 10, 11 years old. This old guy in town decided he's going to start an ice cream wagon. So he got a vendor's permit from the town and bought himself this awesome little ice cream rig. Had a weird little cab on it. And it had the big box back on it. And he'd zip up, and the doorway from his cab to the back was just tiny. He'd have to go in sideways to get in there and sell you ice cream out the side window, out the curbside.
That's cool.
And it was going great. 3 months, man. Every kid in town was having ice cream at least once a day because of him. He was crossing a damn intersection, not paying attention, got hit by a fucking train.
Done.
When we heard what happened, a bunch of us ran up there in the town, and all of us kids were nabbing up all the ice cream we could. We're running around with popsicles and ice cream bars, ice cream sandwiches, and melting all. Every kid in town was covered with freaking ice cream. And the old guy, he bailed. He bailed just as the train was hitting his rig.
So it didn't kill him.
It didn't kill him. He was bruised up a bit, but it not hurt terribly bad. And
no head, you're eating ice cream. That's just wrong.
See, that would have been bad. That would have been shameful. But my dad was the chief of
I still
police,
would have the ice cream though. I still would have
and,
and rifled his pockets.
All right,
and oh,
I gotta get going. I gotta go say hi to my missus. You know.
you
so,
betcha. Family time's important time.
Yeah.
You bet.
I gotta say
Totally.
hi to her for 10 minutes, then I'm good. And then she tells me to get back upstairs.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. Thanks. I had my dose of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mike, you take care. Everybody in the chat. You guys have a good evening. Tomorrow
thank you for being
is
here.
what, Sty?
Tomorrow is what? Friday.
It's Friday. Thank goodness. My truck is half loaded. I'm ready to go and get my day over with.
There you go. Sty times at 5 p.m. Central Time.
Did you hear that, everybody?
And
Same time, same day, same week.
tomorrow night's topic is Grandma's cookies.
I can't make it.
Is it really Grandma's cookies?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, guys. Mike, take it easy, buddy.
Have a good one. Good to see you.
Yeah. Sty, you have a good
See
night.
take care.
Great. Now I'm stuck with you.
Oh, God. Quit reading my mind. I mean, whoa. I got this itch.
All right.
The God, I was so mad today at the doctor's office. I get there right away. It was to the lab with you while they draw my blood. She goes, "Can we get a urine sample?" I said, "Good luck. You can try." And she goes, "No, seriously, we need a urine sample." I said, "Well, you're going to have to get it from somebody else because I'm quite dehydrated right now. I just couldn't get down a lot of liquids last night." I said, "I don't think I can even give you a dribble." And she says, "Well, okay, then once you can, let the doctor know. They'll run you right back here. You can leave sample." Oh, hell no. Almost 2 hours with those doctors. Still, there's no way. I don't need to go. Appointment ends, and I'm like, and my doctor says, "But you can't leave without that urine. We need the urine sample." I said, "Son of a bitch, I don't have to go." So I went down to the lab, and the gal down there, she said, "Take the container, go in the restroom, just run the water until you can go." That's when I realized, wait a minute. I'm dehydrated. That's why I can't go. So I come walking out, set my pee cup on her lab counter, said, "I'll be back." I come walking back and I said, "Could you set that in the bathroom for me, that container? I got 2 big cups of coffee."
That'll do it.
By the time I had the second one down, then I'm going, "I can give you a little. Just a little, but I can give you some now." I totally forgot. My appointment's over. Lab work's done. I can eat, drink, do whatever I want, you know. But I hate it. I hate that. I keep telling my doctor she's got to talk to girls at the front desk, man. My follow-up appointments like this are fasting appointments. And they want you to fast for 12 hours. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So when do they make my appointments? Usually about 11:30 in the morning. Couple of times it's been as late as 2 o'clock in the afternoon. When it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I guess I don't mind it quite as much because I can eat at night right up till 2 o'clock. But 11 o'clock in the morning, I'll wake up at about, if I go to bed at 11 o'clock at night, I'll wake up at midnight just craving something to snack on. Damn it. I hate that. I hate that fasting crap.
Kimberly Ferris. I shouldn't be eating this ice cream in front of Kimberly. But I'm gonna. That girl has lost some weight.
That's cool. That is so cool.
She's doing an awesome job. And she's sticking with it too. I need that trick.
Yeah. You have to do what I did.
I'm not
If-
going camping for 6 months. Fuck that. Mm-mm. Not me.
Yeah, it was that amazed me today to find out I only weighed 170 pounds. I lost a full 50 pounds.
Well, it's good. Your stuff came back good.
Yeah, it was one of those days where no news was good news, man. That's the and they told me don't, we're not taking anything off the table.
Mhm.
The tests aren't done,
Right.
but the bulk of the tests are done. And if I'm batting 100 and the majority of the tests are done, I think it'll be okay. They're trying. Well, what they're trying to then that's why they want to see me once every month and a half for the next 6 months, because they're going to work on what this disorder that I have going on. Figure out what the hell's causing it. Is it something that's operable? Can they fix it? Whatever, treat it somehow.
Right.
But the only thing they were concerned about really today, I wasn't quite as concerned as they were, but they're concerned about my ticker. As being that I'm in my 6th year since Open Heart. And I said, but I haven't had a single issue. And they said, that's usually the way it goes. Is all of a sudden, between 5 and 7 years afterwards, all of a sudden, boom, you'll have an event.
Mhm.
And I said, well, I don't want to hear that shit. So I got a fresh bottle of nitro today, just in case, and she's going, I don't want you. I know how you are. If you're feeling any angina in your chest, you're having that pains, you get on the horn, get an ambulance over there right away. I told her, I said, you don't have a thing to worry about, because come hell or high water, I never want to go through that shit again. I said, you betcha I'm going to have them pick me up and fix that shit before they got to open up the hood again. Yep. Do a quick oil change. I should be okay.
No more ice cream.
There's another stick for that.
Bullshit.
That was something I remember as a kid too. There was this old guy, bachelor, there in town where I grew up, and a few of us local kids would go kind of hang out and BS with him out on his porch and shit. One day, he invited me and my buddy into his little house, popping cookies kind of thing. Come on, let's go inside. It was a hot day. Go inside and have cold pop and some cookies. So go in the house, and here in his living room, he's got like a big square, low coffee table, and he's got the most awesome big ass church that he's built out of those popsicle sticks, right?
Oh.
And I said to him, I said, boy, I bet the craft store over there in Navarre, the town next to us, had a craft store. I said, I bet you they love you with buying all them popsicle sticks. And he goes, come here, both of you. And we walked in, followed him into the kitchen, and he opened up the top freezer in his fridge, literally. He only had like 2 or 3 things that weren't boxes of popsicles. He had a floor freezer, and about half of that floor freezer was full of popsicles. He said, I eat 6 or 8 popsicles every day. So if I eat 8, that's 16 popsicle sticks. He said, it took a while, but no, all these popsicles have been sucked on, he says.
Wow.
I thought, oh my God, that guy can put down the popsicles, man.
Hope we at least rinsed them off.
Yeah, me too. Oh, it sure looks good. I ain't touching it. Yeah,
Your hand will stick to it.
that's it. Yeah, yuck.
I woke up this morning in my favorite city, the ticket in my mailbox.
What are they ticketing you for now?
The shit in my driveway in the yard.
Oh, Jesus. They just won't leave you alone on that, will they?
I knew it was coming though.
Yeah.
Kind of my own fault. So
That's a
gotta clean it up and got a ticket. So I still have to pay the ticket, but I still have to clean it up. So if I don't
even
clean it up, they give you 5 days. If it ain't cleaned up, then the ticket it's $750. It goes up to $1,000. I paid $1,000 one a couple months ago.
Oh, ouch.
What are you gonna do?
That's the thing with moving to Running Waters is he's about that far from the city coming in. And what they call it here in the city is a conditional condemnation that they put on your property if you got a bunch of junk in your yard or anything where you're violating their code,
Right.
they can give you a conditional condemnation, and you have to within 24 hours vacate the property during that condemnation. And then once you correct what's in the violation, you get fined on top of it. But once you correct it, then they'll come out, inspect, and they'll release the condemnation. You can move back in. Well, Running Water is that close, man. Because he took down 5 big ash trees, and he just had the guys cut the tops out of them and drop the trunks. He was hoping his little brother would clean that shit up while he's out on the road. His little brother didn't touch shit. I went in there with chainsaw and I brushed everything, broke all the brush down.
Right.
Bucked all the wood that was like 8 inches and smaller into firewood chunks. That made up maybe 30% of what the hell's laying out there. And it's been laying there. This is the 3rd year. And so half of his yard, nice big yard, is these fucking trees. Well, now all this shit is growing up around that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it's full of cockleburs and goddamn ash trees growing off of the stumps. It looks like a little forest. It's nasty. I'm going to do a video this spring of me attacking that, but I got to jump on that as soon as the ground's dry enough. I can work in there, get the brush piles all squared away, and get a chipper in there, chip it all, and then buck all the wood up. But Running Water, I want to save those 2 big trunks that are there, and I want you to cut. I want you to cut me a couple of fire pit benches out of those. Fuck that. You go to Walmart for $6, you buy a folding camp chair.
Yep.
The hell with your wooden ass bench. No, he wants his bench. I suppose he does do things for me unexpectedly, so I guess I got it too. So, but the youngest boy is leaving a really sweet Craftsman riding lawnmower. Earl.
Telling me it's bedtime.
Yep.
What time is it?
I got 10 minutes before I shut down, and then I'm done for the night because.
No, I just want to see because he usually comes about around 11 o'clock. He usually pops up.
Yep, it's 10:49 there, yeah. So he's about 10 minutes early. That's all.
He's on it.
That is kind of nuts, though, how an animal can literally end up on a time schedule.
Yep, I'm down here around 11 o'clock. He'll start bugging me.
Yeah.
Come on.
That was my one Chihuahua I had, my last one. Oh, she was too damn smart, too sharp. She was that way. If I was still up and doing stuff, I might be on the computer or something. Midnight, I get this feeling and I turn, and wherever she is in the room, she's sitting there and she's staring right at me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you crazy old bastard, it's bedtime.
Yep.
At midnight, right on the nose, every damn night. And
It's funny because when I get in bed, if he's laying on the bed, he'll get off the bed and he'll stand. I have a little end table there. Well, he'll stand on the end table. So then I'll get in bed and do my covers and all that crap. And then he'll come over and I have to have my arm like this because he'll lay right here with his hand here and his head over here. And he'll lay on my arm. My arm will go like dead asleep and he won't move.
he won't move.
Nope. He starts snoring and he's out.
That's his pillow.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't mess with my pillow, you know.
So I can't move, I can't lay on my side or I'm gonna lay there like this watching the freaking TV. Over and get the remote and he just don't move. Like I got up at I don't know what time. Yeah, I got up at 7. Well, at 9 o'clock he was laying on my bed. He didn't get out of that bed until like 1:30. Laid there, and then I was live streaming. He came down here and bugged me because the room's right above it's right.
Right,
there.
right.
So you can hear me, and then I can hear him jump off the bed. I tell everybody, "Oh, here he comes!" And sure
Here he comes. Yep. I know he's on his way.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I had fun today at the clinic when I got there, and they're asking about all symptoms and shit. And I said, I got one symptom, and if I
Step Van Dan.
if I like if I was at your place, it wouldn't bother me a bit. I'd pop a Benadryl about every 4 hours, and I'd be fine. But I'm allergic as hell to cats.
Are you really?
Yeah, I never used to be, but when I became diabetic, for some reason, metformin, when I take that, made me allergic to cats.
Wow.
And we tested it, and they had me quit taking it. And within 4 or 5 days, no allergies. Start taking it again. Cat jumps up in my lap. I'm sneezing, eyes are running, nose is running. So it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
So what did I do before I went to my doctor's appointment? I ran over to Running Waters, walked in the house to check on Running Waters' mail from the last few days. And my youngest boy's 2 cats jump up in my fucking lap.
Oh, shit.
And I sat there while looking at that mail, petting those cats, playing with them cats. And then I looked at the time. I'm going, oh, shit, I got about 10 minutes to get to the doctor's office. Zipped over to the doctor's office, put my COVID mask on, walk up to that door, and before I even push the button, sneeze so hard that COVID mask come out about 2 feet. And I'm like, oh, shit. I just went and grabbed myself some symptoms. They probably won't even let me in the damn place.
Mm-hmm.
And I was explaining to the girl, no, I'm allergic to cats, and I just came from my kid's place. Yeah. Hey, Step Van Dan, great to see you.
You lucky I didn't put the swab up your nose.
Yeah, they don't test much. That they test upon request.
Mm-hmm.
If I would have asked them to test me, yeah, they would have tested me. They wouldn't have thought twice. They'd say, yeah, okay, come over here, and blah, blah, blah.
She does the home test. She's always testing herself.
That I'd like to know how the heck you can get your hands on them home tests.
I'll ask her because she gets them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll ask her. But she's been
Somebody told me the home tests aren't as invasive. You don't go way up in your freaking nose. It's more down in the bottom area here.
I think she said she does. You have to do both sides or something.
Yeah, you do each nostril, and the results have a little more margin of error, but you can take them over and over and over.
Yeah.
So if you get a positive, they recommend you do it like 2 times after you get a positive. You test 2 more times.
Right.
To confirm it. And
she does it because she works at a school. So
oh yeah.
She's been stressed out the last 2 days. So I don't know. So we had that school shooting here the other day, and you get all the copycat crap, and her anxiety level is like through the wall when shit happens. And I mean, she's like, I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. She called me And she only works like half a block from me. So I said, do you need me to come down there? And she's like, no, I'll be fine. Just wanted to let you know. So she calmed down after she talked to me. Then she came here after work. But yeah, she's been razzed. And then today there was 40 different schools shut down because some idiot wanted to call and make threats. And
Yeah.
right out of Southfield, which is like the next 2 cities over from me, kid in the school with a gun today. One of the students saw him, so they got a hold of him. So stupid shit. Stupid. Don't understand. It's sad.
I think back in the 70s when we'd have bomb scares during the tail end of the Nam era there. They really got into making bomb scares at the schools.
Yeah, that used to be
And
a big thing.
and oh yeah, the alarms would go off and the announcement would come. All students, this is not a drill.
Yep.
You're to vacate to the safe zones and we'll let you know when to re-enter the building. And we all go out and sit in the football field or out at the track or out in the parking lot. And we're all out there watching the building going, come on, blow, blow. Because if you blow, then we get a couple weeks off. Blow, blow. They were always false alarms.
They had a bunch of schools shut down today and tomorrow because of the dumb shit.
And I totally get, as a kid, we thought that's kind of cool, man. Bomb scare in the school. It's kind of cool, especially it didn't go off. We all got out. But now once you've had kids, you start thinking, now I know why my mother and father were like, whoa, shit, damn near lost the kids, that and that's the worst part is I got this guy who lives right above me, apartment right above me, and that some bitch, like I have said many times, this building's made out of spancrete,
Right.
and the ceiling solid concrete. All of the outer walls of our apartments are solid concrete, and the front wall is solid concrete. That son of a bitch sounds like he's got a D9 cat up there in the living room.
Wow.
I mean, and I hear an impact drill. You know the sound of one of them when somebody's drilling into concrete. That son of a bitch drilling into these concrete walls up there. I don't know what the hell he's doing. I told the manager of the building, I said, do something about that son of a bitch. I said, I can hear people yelling and screaming up there 3 o'clock in the morning and shit. And he's banging and pounding. You can't. I hang pictures and shit in here, and my neighbor said, I have never once yet, Sty, in 3 years heard you over there. Ever. And he sits right in the middle of his living room against the inside wall. He'd hear anything, but no, he don't hear nothing. And so whatever they're doing is not good. It ain't good. The manager told me, oh, if it's bothering you, why don't you go pound on their door and tell them to shut the fuck up?
Wow.
I said, because the building's policy says I can't go up there with a pistol and shut them up. I ain't going up there knocking on that goofball's fucking door without a weapon.
Yeah.
And they said, well, then call the cops. I said, last time I talked to the cops about coming for something like that, they said, talk to your building manager. It's their building.
Right.
They said, if your building manager calls us and wants somebody removed from the premises, we can come and do that. But they said not because their neighbor is complaining. And well, okay, so there's nothing you can do about it? And I was telling the guy this morning, I said, he was bitching about that guy up there too. He says, what he's doing is he's got all these street urchins, all these homeless characters and shit in town. They're coming and he'll have 8 or 10 of them up in his apartment for the whole night. And he's a crackhead, he's doing drugs up there and shit. So, and another guy said, well, you know what management says, and that's what you need to do, Sty, is just go up there, pound on the door and tell them, cut that shit out. And I told him the same thing. Back in 80s, 70s, 60s, I wouldn't have hesitated.
Right.
Today, with what's been going on in this country the last couple of years,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'm nervous knocking on somebody's door that I know. I
Yeah, you
said,
never know.
yeah, you just never know. If some goofball comes to the door
Yeah.
with a big ass butcher knife or a shotgun, and that's why I'll like it at Running Waters. Yeah, there's a lot of good defensible positions in that big house.
Yeah.
Earl, you'll put up with anything. Well, buddy, I think we should wrap it up. It's been a 3-hour stream, and the
Fucking cat. This cat's hilarious.
he's a hoot. I love him. I think he's great. If I had a cat, I'd want it to be that one. Yeah. So we're gonna wrap it up, folks. All you folks in the chat, all you folks watching, thanks for being here tonight. It was fun. It was a fun night. Kind of mellow night. Had good conversations. Yeah. Went very well. My next show's tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Sty Times.
Can't
Sty
make
Times.
I can't make.
That's that many more of Grandma's cookies for someone else.
That's all right.
So
Might come in for a minute.
the what? Just for a minute, eh?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Yeah. Okay, folks. Want you all to take care of yourselves. See you in the next show, or I'll see you Sunday. Sty Story Sunday, 7 p.m.
Can't make it.
Subscribe and ring the bell. Then I don't have to keep reminding you when I do shows. Then
Yeah. Share out the stream too.
share out this stream now that it's over. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You're so much help.
I know.
Hey, take care of yourself, buddy. We'll talk to you again very soon.
All right, buddy.
Night.
Good night, everybody.
We all have a story. We all have a tale.